moving forward, let me go ahead and get this paper handed back, and then we can go forward from there. Okay. But I want you to, okay, so look over at the board, okay? Tomorrow you're doing nothing, well, you could be done. What I'm saying is you're doing nothing other than doing what you feel needs to be done to allow you to be successful or getting your work done, okay? Some of these are perhaps a little more tricky than others, because just don't presume that you have to have 4-step problems on all of these, because that's not the case. I would hate to see you do more work than what's actually required. So other than number 4 or number 5, if you want to look at these and not number 9 or 10, you can go ahead and pick a number and say, you know, I just want to go over this because it looks confusing to me. Otherwise, I will just turn you loose and I will just not say anything. I said, no, you can't do 9 and 10. You can't do one that says refer to the previous problem.
We can do 8 then.
Let me take a look at number 8. You know, that was probably a pretty good one, actually. Okay, so number 8. What is the amount of aluminum within 300 grams of aluminum phosphate? So does this have that extra added step at the end?
No.
It does not. Why not? You're not looking for a percent, which I was kind of trying to keep track of serving percentages last night. How many of you felt you did pretty well? Well, good, good. You weren't thinking about chemistry when you did. We talked about this in chemistry, my serving percentages, or maybe it was anatomy and physiology. I don't know. Anyway, how do we start that problem?
300 grams.
Okay, so you have 300 grams. Okay, 300 grams. Okay, aluminum phosphate is what? Okay, and it's specifically asking for aluminum only. Now, this is one of those spots to where if you inadvertently skipped a step, it's not going to make any difference. I'll tell you what that means here in just a moment. Okay, so unlike number 2, what does number 2 tell you on the front page? It just says how many moles, right? That's just a 2-step problem. Okay, but unlike this one that's asking for how many grams of just this substance is present in 300 grams of that entire compound. So someone had said that correctly. The first thing you're going to do is convert that to what? Okay, and in order to do that, to convert it to moles, what do we need to do? Okay, so for every gram of aluminum phosphate, you would get what? One mole of aluminum phosphate. Okay. Does anyone approach these problems, you write out all the work first, then come back and put the fine details in? I would highly suggest you don't go back and forth and back and forth. What I mean is you do this and then you do this and then you come back and put the grams in there. I would highly suggest you don't do that. I would highly suggest you just work from left to right. Okay, aluminum is what? Atomic mass.
26.99.
Okay, so we'll just say 27. Phosphorus is Is that 30.97? Okay. Sometimes I can guess pretty good. Was I explaining that to the other day? Even a blind sow finds a kernel of corn every now and then.
Never heard that one.
Okay. If an animal's blind, are they going to find food regularly?
No.
And if it's,
heard a
yeah.
blind squirrel finds a nut.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes a blind sow can get lucky too, finds some corn every now and then. All right, so then 1 oxygen is how much? And you have 4 of them.
64.
Okay. Oh, 3, 6. Is that right? No, that's not right.
12, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Carry the 1, so yep, 12. At least I caught that before we got too far. So that number then goes here. All right. We are in moles of aluminum phosphate. Okay? But remember, we're just wanting whatever this substance is, just aluminum only. So this third step is very crucial because it allows you to change what? What we have, which is aluminum phosphate, into what we're looking for, which is just aluminum. So we've said what it is you have to do. How do you do that now?
The mole at the bottom.
Okay. Now, earlier we had said if you were to inadvertently skip this step, you'd be fine. Why is that? Because it's 1-to-1 here. When we do stoichiometry, sometimes that happens too. Okay? Sometimes you can stumble upon that and get lucky, but that doesn't happen very often. So just continue to make sure that when you're looking at this, if you don't see any subscripts down there, don't skip this step knowing that you don't have to put one there. Okay? Because it's just good practice. And the example that we always give as far as good practice, let's say it's in the second quarter of a basketball game. A shot is made, they call timeout. So if you are taking the ball out of bounds after a made shot, whether the clock is stopped or not, what can you do on that baseline? You can run on even though the clock was dead. Okay? So even in the second quarter, chances are the official is going to hand the ball to you. He's going to go like this. What is he telling you? You can run the baseline, but you're thinking, it's only in the second quarter. Well, if you have that good practice when it's late in the fourth quarter, are you going to forget to do this? Probably not. Okay? So it's just good practice to continually do this. Okay. So how do we get rid of this mole of aluminum then? For every mole of aluminum, you get what? 27 grams of aluminum. So that would give you how much aluminum only is in 300 grams of aluminum phosphate. 66.4 grams. Okay. And if that's what you people all get, that is probably the answer then. Okay, so I'm not going to stand up here and waste your time. If you have, I got history to do, I've got algebra 2 to do, I've got pre-calc to do, I've got English to do. This is your time. You utilize it how you see fit.
So now 9 and 10, you just take 66.4 divided by 300.
Okay, you could do 66.4 divided by 300. Yes, that's correct. But then you go 300 grams. This is the same. This is the same. Okay? This is the same. But what's going to change up here? Phosphorus will still be 1. But then this won't be 27, it'll be what instead? 30.97. Then when you do oxygen, that's the same, that's the same, that's the same, that's the same. You need to put a 4 here, then 16 goes there. Because you have to do for each
So
element.
do you want just whole numbers, or do you want like 22.1%?
22.1%, yes. Does that make sense to everyone? Because if it makes sense to you, it'll make sense to those who, perhaps it'll make sense to those who are watching this. If there's nothing else, I'll say the rest of the time's yours.
Not phosphorus.
Going once,
What phosphorus and
going twice. Okay, there's 3. All right, we'll catch up to you next time.